Hello, Algebra 1. Today we are going to continue with completing the square, but today it's going to be a little harder because a is not going to be equal to 1. First, let's do a little review. Let's find the c value that makes a perfect square trinomial and then factor. All right, so remember what you're going to do is you're going to take your b value right here. We're going to divide by 2, which gives us a -5, and then we're going to square it, which gives us a 25. This means we're multiplying to 25, and we are adding to -10. And as a reminder from yesterday, it's always going to be these guys right here. So now we can factor, and this will just be x minus 5 squared. Okay, and so that is your answer. All right, let's try it again. Take your b value, -4, divide by 2. -2, square it. It's going to be a +4. So again, this is going to be x minus 2 squared. Okay, and that will always work. So that will cut out some time if you're like trying to find those numbers. It will be that guy. Let's try one more time. Divide by 2, 9. Square it, 81. X plus 9 squared. All right, multiplies to 81, adds to 18. It's the two of them. All right. Okay, so like I said, in some cases, the a value is not going to be 1. So here's what we're going to do when we complete the square. We're going to still move our constant to the y side. Okay, that's the same as before. But what's different this time is we're going to factor out the leading coefficient, okay, and leave a space to complete the square. All right, so we're going to fill in the blanks to do that for number 5. But first, let's just do a review of what we did yesterday. Your a value is 1 here, so this is the same as your homework from last night. Subtract your 2 over. Take your b value, divide by 2, square it. So that's going to be a +16. Make sure you add that on both sides. Combine like terms. Oops. -2 plus 16 is 14. This side factors. Again, you know that it's going to be x plus 4 squared. And then we're subtracting that 14 back over. So x plus 4 squared minus 14. Okay, and that's your vertex form. But like I said, this is a little more challenging when you have a number in front. Okay, so take a look at number 5. Here's your original equation, and we've got kind of some training wheels here to walk us through it. So we're going to start by subtracting our 5 on both sides. Okay, so this is a y minus 5 equals 3x squared minus 6x. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to factor the 3 out, okay? Not the 3x, just the 3. So it's not necessarily the GCF, because really if it was the GCF, we'd have 3x because they both have x's here. You're only doing the number in front. So 3x squared divided by 3 is x squared. 6x divided by 3 is 2x, okay? And you have that minus there. Okay, so now we're going to complete the square again. You have your -2, okay, -2 divided by 2 is -1, and square it, that's your +1. Now, what we did in the past was we added a 1 on this side as well, but here's where the tricky part is again, is we really didn't add a 1. We actually added a 3. Okay, because that 3 is going to distribute to the 1. So it looks like we added a 1 here, but it really was a 3 times a 1, which is a 3, which means we need to add a 3 to the other side to counteract it. Okay, combine your like terms. -5 plus 3 is a -2. And on this side, we're just factoring. Remember, you're going to take your b divided by 2 value, multiplies to 1, adds to -2. That's just this -1. And then we're going to add that back over. So this will be 3x minus 1 squared plus 2. Okay, now let's give it a try without the training wheels. Okay, first step, same as before, move the constant, which is your c value, over to the y side. Y minus 2 equals 4x squared plus 24x. Okay, so now you've got a number in front, so we're not ready to complete the square yet. We have to divide that 4 out. Okay, so divide that 4 out. 4x squared divided by 4 plus 24x divided by 4 is 6x. And what I want you to do is leave a space here to complete the square. Okay? All right, so now we're ready to complete the square. Take your b value, 6, divide by 2, 3, square it, plus 9. Okay, now here's where you need to be careful. We're not adding 9 to this side. We're adding a 4 times 9, which is a 36. Okay, that's probably the biggest mistake people make, is they just add a 9. All right, combine like terms. Negative 2 plus 36 is 34. And now we're going to factor. Multiplies to 9, adds to 6. That was this 3. And final step, subtract your 34 back over. And there we go, we did it. Okay, let's try it again. First, move your constant over. Y minus 5 equals 2x squared minus 24x. Okay, next we're going to divide out that number in front of the x squared. So just take out a 2. 24x divided by 2, it's minus 12x. Leave a space to complete the square. Okay, take your b value, negative 12, divided by 2, it's negative 6. Square it. That's your plus 36. Okay, but this is really a 2 times 36, which is a 72. So we're not adding 36 to the side, we're adding 72. Negative 5 plus 72 is 67. And this side will factor, multiplies to 36, adds to negative 12. Again, that's going to be this negative 6. And finally, subtract your 67 back over. And there's your vertex form. All right, let's try a few more. Flip the page. Okay, so this time vertex form and identifying the vertex. Okay, first step, move the number over to the y side. Okay, again, it's really about repetition with these. Okay, you just kind of get used to the pattern, but you've got to practice it a bunch. Next, divide out that number in front. Okay, so this is an x squared minus 12x divided by 2 is a 6x. Leave a space to complete the square. Take your b value, negative 6 divided by 2, square it. That's a plus 9, but hold up, it's not really a plus 9, it's really a what? 2 times 9 is 18, so that's what you have to add to this side. Negative 19 plus 18 is a negative 1. On this side, we're going to factor. Again, multiplies to 9, adds to negative 6. It's going to be this negative 3. And finally, add your 1 back over. So we'll have y equals 2 times x minus 3 squared plus 1. And again, when you find your vertex opposite of the first term, keep the second the same. So there you go. All right, let's try one more like this. Okay, again, it's all about repetition. Add your constant over to the y side. Now, this one is a little tricky because the number we're taking out in front is a negative 3 here. When you do that, it's going to mess with your signs. So negative 6x divided by negative 3 is a positive 2x. Okay, see how the sign changed? Leave space to complete the square here. All right, take your b value. That's 2 divided by 1, square it. That's a plus 1. But wait, it's not really a plus 1. It's really a negative 3 times 1, which is a negative 3. 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2. On this side, we are factoring. multiplies to 1, adds to 2. Again, that's going to be this guy. Oops, that's next. And finally, last step, add that 2 back over. So we should have y equals -3, x plus 1 squared plus 2. And our vertex will be -1, comma 2. Okay, change the sign, keep the sign. All right, the last thing we're going to do is, where are we? Convert from vertex form to standard form, which is what we did yesterday. So this just adds one more step from our foiling yesterday because we're going to have that 2 in front. Okay, here's the really, really important thing. You cannot distribute this 2 right now because there's an exponent here. So what we're going to do is the 2 is going to stay out front. Write your x minus 3 twice. And we're going to FOIL this first, okay? So when you do this, you're going to leave parentheses, okay? Because that 2 is going to have to distribute to everything. And now we're going to FOIL, all right? X squared minus 3x minus 3x. Watch your signs here. -3 times -3 is a positive 9. And then you have this plus 7. What I would do next is combine your like terms in here. This 2 is still out front. So it's going to be a minus 6x. Now we'll distribute the 2. So it's not an x squared, it's a 2x squared. It's not a -6x, it's a -12x. And 2 times 9 is 18. Notice the 7 is not getting multiplied by 2 because the 7 was not in the parentheses. Bring your plus 7 down. And then the final thing is that you've got more like terms to combine. So we'll have y squared, or y equals 2x squared minus 12x, and 18 plus 7 is 25. Okay, and then your ABCs. So A is just 2, B is -12, and C is 25. All right, let's try one more like this. Okay, again, that -3 cannot distribute right now. It's just going to sit out front. We'll distribute it in a bit. Write your x plus 1 squared twice. And this is what you're going to do first, okay? We're going to FOIL that, but leave the -3 and leave big parentheses. X times x is x squared. 1 times x is 1x. 1 times x is 1x. And 1 times 1 is 1. Bring down the plus 8. Okay, combine your like terms. So 1x plus 1x is 2x. Now distribute. Be careful, it's a -3. So it's going to be -3x squared, -6x, and -3. The 8 just comes down. And final step, go ahead, combine those numbers. -3 plus 8 is a positive 5. Okay. And your A value is -3, your B value is -6, and your C value is 5. All right, and that is your second day of completing the square. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.